honestly, the way I like came out was like, I was sitting in my bed. Like, I really didn't wake up that day being like, I'm gonna come out.
Now, Lara Raj's boyfriend Orlando might be in for a rough time because what Lara did during KATSEYE's Coachella performance has the internet in a full spiral. And the big question everyone's asking is, was that queer baiting? Because here's the thing, we know Lara has come out as queer. We also know she has a boyfriend right now, and a much older one at that, or at least that's what fans have been saying, given that she just turned 20. So when she got on that Coachella stage and licked Megan's face, yeah, people had thoughts, and honestly, a lot of those thoughts were just cringe. Most people watching felt the same way. Like, are they really trying this hard to sell an image that isn't even theirs? Did it really have to go there? Let's get into it. So, KATSEYE made their big festival debut at Coachella, and on paper, it was a moment. Friday, April 10th, 2026. They came out and launched straight into Golden, that breakout track from the Netflix animated film KPop Demon Hunters, and the crowd was with them. Then, out of nowhere, they brought out EJ, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Amy, the singers behind the fictional band Hunter X, to join them on stage. So far, so good, right? But here's where things start getting interesting. Because there was Manon. She was there, at Coachella, watching. Because if you didn't know, HYBE had already announced that Manon was taking a hiatus from KATSEYE. And look, let's be real, that whole thing looked a lot less like a hiatus and a lot more like she was being quietly pushed out. And yet there she was, posting an Instagram story from the festival grounds. She wrote, 6 mil of you, sending warm hugs and kisses to all of you, thank you. She was even spotted watching Sabrina Carpenter's set with Chapel Ron. So yes, she was absolutely in that building, watching her former group perform without her. And that is a whole other layer to this story. Just knowing she was there, present, but not with them. It adds this whole undercurrent of tension to everything that happened that night. Okay, but now, the licking. Lara was out there licking Megan on stage, and people were not having it, like, at all. One user came straight out and said it's queer baiting, and they didn't stop there. They said she's trying to sell something that has absolutely nothing to do with actual queerness, and that it's annoying to watch. They even brought up the W music video, said they loved the song and everything about the artistry, but using lesbianism as a prop for profit is just weird, full stop. Another comment cut even straighter to the point. Can they already stop this? Everybody knows y'all have white boyfriends. And then someone else was just flat out confused. Said they love the girls, but genuinely had no idea what that licking moment was supposed to be. And that it needed to be packed up immediately. And the fans, they are not buying it. They see right through it, and they're saying so loudly. A lot of people online are convinced the whole thing was more performance than anything real. That it felt forced rather than natural, calculated rather than spontaneous. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that when you look at everything together because it raises way more questions than it answers. One comment in particular really stuck. Doesn't she have a boyfriend? She never does this with another guy, so why is it suddenly acceptable with another woman? And that's the part that gets people. It's not like they're in a film where the script calls for it. There's no narrative reason. It just happened, and it felt like a choice, Yahweh, which is exactly why people are calling out the double standard. Using pieces of LGBTQ plus culture selectively when it's convenient, when there's an audience, when there's profit in it, that's the problem. And if anyone's trying to argue this was just a spontaneous heat of the moment thing, the footage says otherwise. If you watch closely, you can actually see Megan pulling her hair back right before it happens. She knew. It was planned. This wasn't an accident. Now here's the thing. Lara has come out. She came out as queer on Weverse about a year ago during a fan chat session. She told everyone she's, quote, half fruitcake. And she'd already come out to her family and the people close to her when she was 14 and then publicly at 19. And she was honest about how scary that was. Like, scared about how it would change the way people saw her. Scared about whether it would affect people's support for her and for KATSEYE as a whole.
14 to my loved ones and to my family. And then I just came out, like, publicly, like, when I'm 19 now. I was really scared, honestly, about if this would affect how people would see me, affect people's support of me and the group as KATSEYE.
So she's not hiding who she is, she's been open, which is actually part of why this whole Coachella moment feels more confusing than clarifying, because it doesn't read as authentic self-expression. It reads as a stunt. And then there's the boyfriend situation. Lara is rumored to be dating a singer named Orlando, and fans have been a little weird about the age gap. Lara's 20, one of the youngest in KATSEYE, and Orlando is a songwriter who's been building his own career. He's got around 200K monthly listeners on Spotify, and his song Are You Still in Love With Me has a few million streams, so he's not nobody. He's also constantly on TikTok pushing his music, but the rumors didn't just appear out of thin air. They were seen getting close at an LA party, and fans have been tracking their locations for a while. Orlando posted about being in India the same day Lara flew out to visit family. There are photos of him with her family members. They've been spotted on what looked like a beach trip together. At this point, it's really not giving just rumors. There's way too much there. It looks like they're genuinely together, and pretty openly at that, which makes the whole Coachella thing even more baffling to people. As for Orlando's exact age, that hasn't been confirmed, but you already know the fans went full detective. They were digging through old Instagram posts, Facebook birthday messages from his family, the whole thing. From what they've pieced together, he's probably around 25, so that puts the age gap at about 5 years, and most people are like, okay, that's really not a big deal. They're both adults. 5 years isn't anything alarming, so on that front, fans aren't really pressed, but still, just picture it. Orlando's at home going about his day, and then he sees that on stage. Like, how do you even process something like that in real time? What's the conversation that follows? Because that just has to be one of the most awkward things to navigate. There's no clean way through that one. And it's not just Lara either. Megan has apparently been linked to this 23-year-old producer and songwriter named Jonah Abram. Fans spotted them looking pretty close together in photos at a party and again at Lollapalooza 2025. So that whole situation is getting its own set of raised eyebrows. Back to the performance itself, because some fans noticed that beyond the controversy, there were real struggles happening on stage. One comment said it looked like Lara and Danny could barely catch their breath in time for their solo parts, but that they pushed through anyway and gave it everything they had. Another fan said they think the size of the crowd got in Lara's head a little. It was quiet in certain moments, her mic had a few issues, and on top of that, she's been going through a lot lately. But the same fan was clear. She's a star. She and Danny stand out every single time, and next weekend will be stronger. No doubt about it. Someone else pointed out how hard Sophie was breathing during the set, and said they think the nerves hit that the sheer scale of Coachella just hit different when you're standing in the middle of it for the first time. They're already excited to rewatch for week 2. And look, that's the honest truth about Coachella. It is a tough crowd, especially for a debut. The scale of that festival is unlike almost anything else. The expectations are enormous. Technical glitches happen, nerves happen, all of that is real. But when you layer the queer baiting accusations on top of an already shaky performance, and then add in all the surrounding drama, Manon watching from the sidelines, the boyfriend rumors, the cringe factor, it just makes the whole thing messier than it needed to be. So what do you think? Was it queer baiting? Was it just performance art? Or was it a calculated risk that ended up backfiring harder than anyone expected? Drop it in the comments. I'll see you next time.